Ohiopyle State Park. The Meadow Run slides up that trail underneath the bridge. I guess you could call this bridge the Meadow Run Bridge at Ohiopyle State Park. That's the Meadow Run in front of us. It's the stream, which upstream is the incredible natural Meadow Run slides. You always want to make sure you check that out. If you're new to Ohiopyle State Park, there's a parking lot. Follow that road back there. Immediately to your left right there, a couple hundred yards, is a parking lot. In any case, always walk to it even if the parking lot is full. Today the parking lot's empty. Check out the Meadow Run slides. It's so beautiful. Okay, the Meadow Run continues on down from the slides another 1,000 yards and eventually reaches down there where we're going, the Youghiogheny River. It is 9 February, 1:05 p.m. and I'm here to enjoy the 8.5 river today. The river normally is 2 to 3 feet in the summer. That's the easiest boating and rafting for, you know, beginners and intermediates. When it gets up, I think past 11, they don't allow anybody to get on the river. Today it's only gonna get up, it's only up to 8.5 feet, so it's not gonna get much higher than that today. So you could technically safely raft or kayak the river if you're really good. You're a pro, essentially. We're walking on the last part of what's called the Meadow Run Trail. Meadow Run Trail ends right up here at the river. The trail that begins right at the river and then goes downriver, that's called the Cucumber Falls Trail, because that trail leads to the Cucumber Falls. Okay, the river is not that high. So at 8.5 feet, doesn't flood here. I guess it takes about 10 feet to flood here. .5 you can get by. And you can always just walk up here if this is flooded here. That's what I do. All these stick debris piles, sometimes I check them over with my eyeballs. I've already checked these over pretty carefully. And you look for beaver cut pieces of trash. Nope. When I see a piece of, that's a very eroded piece of deep beaver cut trash right here. Quickly look and see that it's all, bark has been taken off and it has those sort of triangular slices on it at both ends. That indicates the beaver chomped it there. Beaver chomped it there, ate off all the bark. So that is a little beaver cut stick. I'll leave it right here. So if anybody sees it, that's a treasure, a beaver cut piece of trash for them. Okay, Cucumber Falls, downriver, Meadow Run slides up the Meadow Run trail. And then that trail starting right over there, going that way, is technically the Cucumber Falls Trail. Today, out in the river, we have all these beautiful, high up in the air, white crests, because that's where there's a whole bunch of boulders out there. And those boulders, when the river gets up to 8.5 feet, they form those beautiful, big, challenging bumps in the rapids. That's why it's safer to beginner kayakers and boaters to boat and kayak when the river's only 2.5 feet. 2 to 2.5 feet I think is perfect for beginners. When it gets up to 8 feet like this, you need to be a professional. Where we're walking is underwater when the river gets 10, 11 feet. And then you have to walk up there to get by. We're on the Cucumber Falls Trail. This trail does get flooded when the river gets up 10, 11 feet right there. 8.5 feet right there. So it's not too bad right now. It's pretty good, but it's not that treacherous today. This is the best big red rock plateau right here. This is one of the beautifulest points in the park, I feel. It's one of my favorite spots in the park right here. Easily reached from the Meadow Run Slides parking lot. Right here, the plateau has a big crevice, big crack that goes right, I guess, well, here's the crevice right here. Cracks right through the plateau, right here. Goes right along where the tree is. Goes right out into the river. And right here, it's an incredible drop. It's a big ledge here. And where it's going down in the water right in there, it's a lot of, so drop goes down about 6 feet, 8 feet. And at the base of it is a bunch of really beautifully water eroded potholes, irregular shaped. So you can see how the power of the river on these higher water days, get down in there, they just erode, and make those potholes right in that area right in there. It's one of my favorite places. I used to call this the crevice. It's technically just a ledge underbite, and it's the ledge crack which is on this red rock plateau, which is what, maybe 50 feet long and maybe 50 yards long and 30 yards wide. Today, most of the boulders out there are covered with water, which makes this type of day extremely challenging. You'd have to be a professional kayaker to come kayak this today. I just come all the time. Sometimes I'll catch one of the real top-level professionals on a high river day. I've only seen them with my eyeballs now. I haven't caught them on a high river day. High river I'd consider 8 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, on up to about 11 feet. That's good. That's a really professionals. I'd like to see them on those days. Obviously, if you're a professional, you would not come this way. You get stuck in there and you could sneak right, I don't know. I wouldn't even advise. You'd have to be a professional. Come here and really understand this to really see if you could even get through on the left side. I wouldn't even try it. If you get stuck in there, you could die. Okay, this is the Cucumber Falls Trail. It goes on down to Cucumber Falls. This is the entrance rapids. Really a great rapids, all different heights. From this super advanced height, even on down, it's got loads, it's got several hundred yards of great kayaking right in that area. It's one of the favorite kayaking areas of Ohiopyle. And if you're just a tourist, amateur like I am, and just come to see the beauty, this is one of the most beautiful spots in the park. It's the entrance rapids ledge, big drop off, which has the beautiful potholes down at the bottom, which you can only see when the river's down around 1.5 feet. When it gets down to about 1.5 feet, you can see those potholes that are down there, which have been eroded by the river.